Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bigfoot, and welcome back to another episode of SimAirport here on the channel in career mode. In today's episode, episode number 6 we're on to already. I realise there has been a break in between now and the last 5 episodes, so just to basically catch you up on where we finished at the end of the last episode. I realise this may not apply to people who have been continuously watching the series, but we added in a third gate. We were starting to gain a lot of money per day, basically 100,000, hence why there's a lot of expansion going on in the airport right now. We've also gone ahead and made the flight schedule even more tighter, though I think maybe a bit too tight, or we need to expand security, which I think I'm actually gonna take the decision to expand security, which hence why we are building this extension here. As we can see, things are just a bit chock-a-block right now, so we could do with a few more processing of ID check stands, baggage scanners and metal detectors. On top of that as well, we are going to go ahead and in this episode, I'm hoping to go ahead add in more seating, then also want to add in more. I want to focus a bit on retail this episode because I feel we've sort of neglected that. The pizza joint here makes a decent amount of money, but customer satisfaction with regards to hunger, it's the second lowest stat, so I feel we can go ahead and definitely help that out going forward anyway. Okay, so as we can see, we're back in the profit, which is nice. One plane left 10 minutes late, but it wasn't too bad. And then we have another plane here, it left 14 minutes late. But outside of that, I've only got a really chock-a-block morning. It's only my mornings that are chock-a-block, so that is the good thing. It looks like we got all passengers boarded on all planes, so there was no passengers missing, which was good, because at the end of the last episode I had 1 or 2 of those occurrences, which was not ideal in the slightest. Alright, okay, so as we can see, a lot of this building has now complete, so that means we can go ahead and clear the walls, and I just want to add in more seating. That's really what I want to do first of all. Then we'll go ahead and start to look at adding in some good old food joints. I'm not really at all sure what kind of food joints I want to go for, but we'll just have to wait and see. With regards to environment as well, I really want to improve that satisfaction statistic. At 43%, it's really poor, so I want to go ahead and improve upon that. How do we do that? We just need to add in a lot of greenery, which is quite easy to do, so let's go ahead and do that. So let's get, a lot of these are outdoors only though, that's the thing. We can actually have a lot of them out the front though, that's quite a good idea. So let's do that, because I realise we've not really decorated the front of the airport too much. So I'll allow myself for that to occur. Then we can have maybe some palm trees out here. Definitely not a palm tree sort of place, but I don't see why it can't be now. So let's go ahead and put palm trees in along here. Then on top of that, what else we got? We've got these decorative trees as well, but these are indoor ones. Okay, interesting. So yeah, so just about adding a little bit of different variety into the airport. You know, airports I feel can be quite dull and boring, whereas if you make them a little bit more exciting, then they can go ahead and appeal to customers that little bit better. Let me go ahead and add in some of those decorative trees along here by... Nope, cancel, because this is where the new expansion's going to be, so this isn't a good idea. I'm not really thinking before I'm building. What I will do though is I will build those trees because I do like them, but just not there, because that's not the best idea. Right now, I'm not really at all sure where we can put them. We'll maybe put a few along... Maybe actually at the corners, that's a good idea. I like that idea a lot actually. That is a cool idea, and that means then if we want to, we can add some more stuff in around here as well. Just go ahead and aid the bathrooms. Now this is interesting. I was looking through all of the objects that we've got here. There's a lot of new stuff which has slyly been put in, so it's not classified as like a big update anyway. That's why I don't know about it, but stuff like digital display ads, though maybe annoying to the PAX, which is passengers, negative environment impact, it will bring some extra revenue. How much depends on the foot traffic nearby. Now, obviously my environment percentage is awful anyway, but we are working to improve that. But I would like to go ahead and stick some of these somewhere, probably in a Rivals to be fair. Or maybe actually just out here in the open. This place isn't used at all really, so we could quite easily put some of these in. I want to try, I just want to put one in and see what impact it has, see how much money it makes, you know. We do have a little bit of free room here at the entrance, which is nice to see. Okay, so let me go ahead and continue on now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start to build much more floors. That's the aim for the time being. So let me go ahead and extend our guided walkways, which we have right now. So adding in some more of those guided pathways is a good idea. Then I can go ahead and speed most of this up. Need to wait for the builders to take the walls away, which will take them a little bit of time. And then we can go ahead, add in more seating, which is my number one priority probably. And then from there we can go ahead and really start to work on the upgrade to security, because if I'm to add any more flights in the afternoon, which I would like to do because it is a good moneymaker, it is our main moneymaker, then I really need for that to go ahead and occur. Let me also go ahead and carpet in that area. I can carpet in this area. Just trying to work out what areas I can carpet in and what I need to do and all this crazy stuff. We can also add in a second queue to gate 3A as well, which should also be very beneficial, I believe. Making things much more efficient at the gate. There's not a lot of planes that come into this gate right now, to be fair. I think there's only about 3. All 3 of them in the morning though, but I think it could be useful going forwards. Alright, so I just need to let the builders go ahead and get started with that. We can probably start to work on this new security upgrade though. That's one thing that I would like to do. So what we're going to need to do is, I'm actually going to do this back to front here. So we're going to go ahead and clear this area here. And I'm going to go ahead and once again carpet things in. Carpets are slightly different here. Don't ask why I have an obsession of carpets. Someone went ahead and commented that in one of the previous episodes. It's very much just for me to know what I'm doing, but also I've got an idea, a very strong idea for what the airport is going to be in my head, and having like carpets is part of the identity of the airport, if you will. As we can see, we're still running really behind. Actually, I should put this game to ×3. We are currently waiting on still decorative bushes going in place, for example, so the environment is up. There was a 45 I've seen in there, which is nice. That's the highest it's ever been, or the highest I've ever seen it. It typically goes around maybe 42, 43, though it's also now down at 35. But everything is dropping, to be fair, because there's no customers here, so I don't think any more customers arrive in until about... Oh, that's some question. Probably about 4 AM for the 6 o'clock flight, and then it gets really busy from about 4 AM. One additional thing, we're doing a lot of research in the last episode as well, getting cheaper taxes, and that's something which I want to go ahead and do. So let's go for lower income tax 2. So that goes ahead and will make a big difference. Not really at all sure how much tax I'm actually paying per day right now. It is a very good question. So let's go back to yesterday as today just started. So as we can see here, basically terminal fees we made 125,000 and then runway fees 18,000. So big wins there. Though I might actually reduce runway fees and just be quite nice, because you actually don't make a lot of money with that. But it is very... It's weird. The airlines really, with runway fees and terminal fees, treat them as equal. So if I have low runway fees, which is never going to make me a lot of money anyway, and then higher terminal fees, then it would balance out. So kind of, it's a strange anomaly there. Then on top of that, we did spend a lot of materials, but we can be quite easily making a lot of money. With regards to tax, though, which I came in here for, we're only paying 5.6k. Then if we go back to day 27, 5 days ago, prior to the research, there was 4k. But then we're paying 7k about 10 days ago. So tax has definitely dropped, and obviously as the airport gets bigger I expect to pay more tax, but that tax cut has made some difference. Only 3k a day, but it all adds up. Okay, so looks like the builders are finished doing most of what they're doing, though it very much does look like a very messy airport right now. So let me go ahead and fill in the blanks. All the bushes are in as well. The environmental, yeah, it's still not really changed. So I'm going to probably have to look into that after the end of this episode. I know it is affected by bushes, but I'm not at all sure what else. I will need to go ahead and, as I said, investigate that after this episode. Right, so let's fill these areas up. then I think that's pretty much everything sorted here. Let me go ahead and expand that and expand that like so. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to probably do the queue. That's probably my best priority. And then there's so much we've got to do this episode. It is so exciting. I'm also looking forward to going ahead and carrying out some more research as well, because once we do the lower property tax or both of them, you should say, then I'm very much looking forward to working on something else. I would like to maybe start to go for a light transit station. That would be good. I think that would allow us to have more passengers come in at a better frequency. I believe, if I'm right in saying, if we go into, it is here I'm wanting, but we are, no, it's in a different menu. It's in this menu here, so transport and delivery, so I can't customize that yet. I'm not really at all sure if I'm getting charged per bus coming in and per monorail coming in yet. I'm just a bit unsure. We've also unlocked some more advanced maintenance actually, which is a good thing as well. Or I probably had this all the time. No, it is locked still. Okay, that's fine. And then duration, so this is maintenance. This is basically when I want a no-fly time. So we'll actually go ahead and make that from 1 and it lasts 4 hours. There's definitely no flights in between those times. There is a flight just at the midnight basically, which needs to take off at 1:15 AM. Usually takes off before then though, so that's fine. But let me go ahead and make that, yeah, 1:30. Well, maintenance only lasts 3 hours right now though, so it's reopened by 4:30. With regards to the buses, I do think I'm having to pay for them, and that's why I want to get access to that interface. Not this one in here, but this one in here, which is locked. So I can go ahead and just see, really, what's happening? How much transport capacity do I need? Are we under? Are we over? Am I paying a good price? All this sort of stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and might as well keep the game on really fast actually. So let's go ahead and jump into queues. Let's go ahead and grab a queue here. Let's go ahead and we are going to just have a very small queue in here like so, which is fine. Let's go ahead and assign to that. And let's take this desk and also assign you to that as well. So that will hopefully make things a little bit better. Jumping over here now to the security side of things, we can go ahead and expand our security setup, which I'm very much looking forward to. So let's start off by going for some metal detectors, which we can quite easily do. So let's have one, let's have 2 more. We'll be able to get 3 more in once I destroy this wall, but I just don't want to cause a security breach, and I would rather do that overnight. Then let's go ahead and get some more baggage scanners in. There'll be a new one going in there. So then 1, 2 down, there'll be a new one there and there. And then finally another ID, or another 2 ID stands, which will go in here and here. So that's good. It's a nice small extension which shall allow us to go ahead and make things that little bit better. Where are we here with security? So this whole area will now become an extended security zone. Now what I need to do is I can slowly go ahead and start to clear the wall. Now I think we'll do that overnight once everyone is through security, just because if there is security breaches, then we can go ahead and deal with it. I've also gone ahead and overzoned here quite a bit. None of that should be a security zone. One thing we can pre-do though is add queues. That's something which I would like to do. So let's go ahead and grab queue. Let's go ahead and start you 1, 2, 3. Let's start you here. And let's have you loop around like that. Interestingly, some people are coming around the long way. I don't know why you're there. It's because I've got like no one on bag scanners now. I'm going to have to hire more staff. That's something I will have to do additionally as well. Anyway, let me go ahead and assign you to there and then you to there, which is fine. Now that I think that should be... It's maybe one more lot of people to be dropped off for the... What do we got here? Yeah, so we had some quite late flights today actually. That departed 17 minutes late and it was short on passengers. So this is what I mean. If we go ahead and upgrade security, we shouldn't have this. This should be all the planes now in. We're just waiting on one more arrival, but that should mean probably most people are through security. Now waiting on their plane. So one plane should arrive at about 11:15, so that must be it in now. So this is the last plane of the day, and that should hopefully depart quite quickly, which is good. Right, okay, let me go ahead and... Ooh, what's the issue here? Assign candidate 0. Oh, can you assign these to bag scanners? No. I really don't get this. I do not know why there is an exclamation mark there. I think because it's segregated, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's hire some more security staff now. I also want to go ahead and finally clear this wall up to there. Then we'll make this a secure area, then we can destroy this wall. Even though it doesn't really matter, I still want to do it this way. While we're at that as well, we can go ahead and sort out the flooring. Speed this up a tiny bit. And then there we go, voila. Right, okay, so the next thing we need to do is add in another queue and then another ID stand, another baggage scanner, and then we should be sorted out, which is good. This new extension will be open for the flights tomorrow, so there really shouldn't be any more problems with security. With regards to extending it from here, I'll just have to extend it down, so I would have to push, for example, the baggage claim area down, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a new baggage hall. That's something that I want to do very, very shortly. I say very shortly, I'm actually going to have to do a bit of research before I get to that stage. It's not going to be too shortly. I'm going to have to wait because I've got other things to research before I get to that stage, unfortunately. Alright, so that's the security area sorted. Now go ahead and clear that as well, which is good. So let me go ahead and add in another ID stand, which will go in there. Another baggage scanner, which will go there. And then another metal detector. Where are we? Metal detector, which will go in there. I'll need to go ahead and add that to the security area as well. Do we have any extra security staff right now? I do not believe we do, which is unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and hire a few more in as well. Finally, this queue is just going to follow the similar format to all the other queues. Go up and down just 3 times, and that will be that. So what's going to happen is you're already assigned to 2, so what we'll do is we'll assign you to this one as well, and when this other desk comes in, it will also be assigned to that queue. Can I select the desk, please? And there we go. Right, so you're... Oh, we'll just put you onto there as well. Right, so you're assigned to 2, you're only 1. Ah, but that's fine. I'll assign you to that as well. Right, okay, everything is good to go there. We've still got 1 queue, which is just first class and cabin crew, but all the rest are mixed, which is fine. Let me go ahead and finally sort this out here. So I want to jump into security. Go ahead and upgrade that into a security zone, which you're now in. Unless I zoned it wrong. Nope, I haven't. There we go. Right, so we just could do with about 3, some more staff for the baggage scanners. So let's go ahead and hire 4 more security staff members. But as we can see, there's not really... We're not at the busiest part of the day, to be fair, but there's nowhere near the queues that we had yesterday, which is great to see. Finally, there's a bit of a hideous anomaly there, but that's just due to carpeting issues, which are now resolved. Right, okay, so things are looking up. We've resolved a lot of the issues which I wanted to at the start of this episode. While I have the money, let's go ahead and start on lower property tax. So that will make some difference. As we can see, passenger satisfaction's up at 79, which typically it's been more around 77, 78. Environment's at 52 right now. That's probably one of the big reasons. Hunger's also marginally up as well, which is great to see. Okay, so... just realised the bottom statistic there is frustration, 99%. That's pretty frustrating. Though I don't know if that's a good thing having it at 100% or if it's a bad thing. Because if you average all those scores together, it is 79%, but you would have frustration if it was bad, then it would be down at like 20. So I'm assuming I'm actually handling that quite well. Though again, I couldn't tell you. Right, let's go ahead and... add in some more food joints. I think that's the next thing I should do. So what have we got in the retail section? A bar would be quite a good idea, I think. We could go ahead and get a nice bar in here. Let's also go ahead though and pre-plan what we are going to build. So we can have a dessert kiosk in a bar maybe. We could have... we've got a pizza joint. I could have... yeah, I think I could do that. So stick you there. It's going to be quite cramped in between there actually, isn't it? Which wouldn't be the best. We could just stick you there and we can have the bar in there. That would maybe be better, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's do that. So let's get the dessert kiosk in here. So that is underway, and then I will also build a bar as well, a small bar at that, and hopefully that will have some effect. So we'll stick this right in here. I think we'll face it in the way like that, so that works out very, very nice. So that's going to be some more retail opportunities in with the airport. Now, a few things I'm noticing is that the bins are full, and also the fact that I've got a lot of rubbish on the ground. So I think first of all we need more trash cans. So let's get some garbage bins in here. We can stick these in quite odd places, which is good. So we'll go ahead and put like 4 there. We'll also go ahead and put like 4 there as well. Then on top of that, we can go ahead and probably put some over by the food areas. That's probably quite important to do. So let's have like 3 there. And I think that should do it for the time being. We could put some more in the middle, but that should be okay. I'm going to actually put some outside the bathrooms as well. I think that could be quite useful to me. And then some in there as well. So that should hopefully go ahead and help the current issue. As we can see, all these bins are being used. We need more maintenance workers though. So where's our maintenance zone? Or our garbage zone for that matter? So if we jump into staff here, then it's janitors, and we only have 1 janitor, that's why. So we'll hire 5 janitors now. So we're going to have a much larger janitor team. On top of that, I also want to extend the garbage zone as well to allow us to store more garbage if need be. And whoa-ee, the rain is coming down thick and fast, isn't it? Pretty crazy. As we can see, this place is so much more tidier now, and the bins are at a much better rate with 5 janitors. So again, that's me just building for the future. And as we can see, a lot of them are actually doing nothing now, which is maybe, I've maybe overhired, but I'm not going to hire janitors again for a very, very long time. Alright, next thing to do, I want to add in some more seating. This is a big thing for me. So let's go ahead and add in bench there, and we can get another bench in there, that's for sure, as time goes on. Then let's just do something similar along here. We will expand this area as time goes on. We left a gap, didn't we? So let's have you to... This is not totally symmetrical, actually. It's similar, but it's not symmetrical. So we'll allow for that there. So that's just a lot more seating in here. I could also go ahead now, and because we've allowed for an expansion here, I can do more seating over here as well, which is good. So that's just going to allow for us to accommodate for much more passengers in with this. I guess this side will be much more quieter as well, which could really favour some passengers. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but it could help us out. Right, so hunger satisfaction's already, it's no longer actually the second worst satisfaction area, which is nice. Pizza joint today, let me go ahead and slow this down before the stats clear. That made $650. Dessert kiosk didn't make as much, but not too bad at all. Basically $360, and then the bar didn't do too good, which I'm quite surprised at, because every time I go to Edinburgh Airport, people are having drinks at like 6 AM in the morning, which I'm guilty of as well, to be fair. So it's very much a tradition I feel you've got to do when you go to the airport and you're going on holiday, unless it's with your family maybe, but even still, if you're going away, you have a pint in the airport, that's just it. Okay, so where are we going to go to next? Well, that's a very good question. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to let this game run for a day. Or no, we'll actually add in some more flights. That's what I want to do. So we're going to add in like 1 more plane in the afternoon. What are these? You can carry 75 passengers. I could take both of these actually if you only take 75 passengers, which is fine. So let me add in these flights into the afternoon. Let's allow for you to go in. We're going to go for this very busy schedule again, actually. I've not really... Can I have you go back a bit, actually, like that there? And then have this final Aerotime flight go in there like that. Now, I will allow for probably 1 or maybe 2 evening flights. I'm not really at all sure what I want to go for. Got a Boeing 737, 140 passengers. We'll definitely take that in. And we can stick that in this gap here like so. And could I fit another one in? I probably could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to allow for a little bit of an altered schedule there. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is 3 new flights added in. That again is going to have some effect to our profit margins. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not really spent too much in this day, so I'm just going to let day 35 play out and then come back to you shortly. So I've gone ahead and let a lot of this day run, but I'm really starting to notice something here actually. Of course it doesn't continue on now, but there was too many people waiting on buses for a prolonged period of time at pickups. For example, if a large plane comes off, this should be a good example. So as we can see here, we have a lot of people waiting in the drop-off area. Now I'm not at all sure with the default kind of bus, there's two kind of buses, how many passengers it takes, but it will not be able to take all of them, I can guarantee you that. So if we go ahead and speed this up, we can see people get on the bus, but it can't accommodate everyone, can it? So actually, as passengers 47 here, so I wonder if 47 will be able to clear for next time. Thing is, with all these flights coming in at very similar times, it means that we are often having 3 flights worth basically in the pickup area at once, because I believe the bus comes every half an hour, I want to say. So it's not ideal at all. I think the bus maybe has a capacity of 50, so that is something we are going to have to address if we want to expand. That's one of the probably higher priorities, as we can see. Right, I've not actually spent hardly any money today at all, which is fine. The reason I didn't continue right through is one, because that issue there, and also 2, research. So I'm essentially wasting time on research. Profit and loss today, terminal fee 71,000, though the new flights aren't accounted in that. Still 123,000, which is really good. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and speed things up again. We're going to start research, and we're just going to go for lower property tax. No, we're not. Let's go for something totally different. We are going to go for, because I want to actually spend some money right now. Let's start off by doing construction. I also want to work for light transit rail, and I also want to go for upgraded buses and standby gates, this sort of stuff. So we require a chief operating officer in with our airport. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make quite a few drastic, well not drastic changes, but I'm going to make quite a few changes. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and change the terminal building outside. I want to go ahead and cut the fence back a little bit is really what I want to do. So I'm going to add in some foundation there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this bit, and I'm going to start to segregate this area a little bit, just tidy it up, make it look a bit nicer. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make the offices down at the front. That's what I'm going to plan to do now, so all offices will be grouped together. Right now we've got the CFO's office up here, but it's a bit out the way, it's a bit in a weird place, and I think eventually what's going to happen is we'll extend ticketing into this area anyway, so I don't think it's realistically the best place to have it. Alright, with that said, that construction has been completed, so now I can go ahead and clear this part of the fence right down to there. Though it needs to be demolished because it's a security fence, so we can allow for that. So this will still be a secure area because we've got concrete to fence, which is fine. So let me speed that up. Now what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to move the storage area, but unfortunately you can't really just delete it, and I mean you could delete it if you wanted to. But, so okay, right, we're going to move the storage area to here. Basically right beside deliveries, and we're going to go ahead and none this part. So the builders at least move everything into the new storage area, but I changed the storage area again. Alright, okay, so that's fine there. So now what we can do is do my expansion plan, which is to go ahead and expand the front of the terminal just a little bit like that. Though I don't know, are we going to get offices in here or not? Let me cancel that. And I realise I just wasted quite a bit of money there. Let's go ahead and allow for that expansion. Is it best to have the offices here? I'm not going to get big offices in here. It's not a good idea. I need an office area. That's what I need, an office area. We could go ahead and I don't have the research or the money for escalators, so I can't go up. And I don't think I can go down either. Let me go into operations, ops, and the escalators. Yeah, you guys are 45 grand a pop. That's down though. You swear it used to be 65,000. Maybe with some research they're now cheaper. Unsure. It requires research for escalators. And I think having the offices tucked away like underground maybe would be quite a good idea. It wouldn't be maybe ideal for the office workers, but I don't really need to care about their satisfaction. My workers' satisfaction is not something in this game. what I would like to see is, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Must be in construction, which is good. Yeah, so escalators. Requires a foreman with an office, which isn't great either. So we are going to have to build some temporary offices for the time being, while we go ahead and wait on that expansion. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make them actually over here for the time being. So let's go ahead and build like that, for example. Might have to be a tiny bit larger than that. Then let me go ahead, and I also can't have security breaches. That's also one thing I can't allow for. So let's go ahead and get rid of that bit there for the time being. I'll need to wait for you guys to finish off building that. Finish that before you clear that wall. Okay, thank God, because there would be a security breach. I always want to say bleach for some reason. I don't know why. Security bleach. I mean, bleach is a thing which is essentially something I guess you probably do after a security breach. You clean everything up. You go ahead and go through things. You try to remove any, like, people who have managed to breach through. And bleach is maybe a bit of a connection there. Anyway, I am mumbling utter rubbish probably. Okay, so this is good. Now I can go ahead and build some offices temporarily. So let's go ahead and instate a wall in there. There probably was a wall in there, which I've got rid of. And that will allow for 2 offices. So let's jump into zone. I need O, which is in the latter part of the alphabet. Let's go ahead and put 2 offices in. Let's go ahead and put doors in. I'm not going to go ahead and carpet all of this area with office carpets, because this isn't going to be here long term at all. So let me go ahead and also add in office chairs. Let's just do them in the corner there, and then office desk. There we go, there it is, which is perfect. Right, voila. Is that desk the right way around? I actually don't think it matters. I can't tell. Right, it will do anyway. Which is sorted. Right, so this has got 2 offices, which is good. So, for the research we want to carry out, construction, we need a foreman with an office. And then, for operations, we're going to need a COO for an office. That's what I'm going to need. So, foreman and COO. Where are you guys? COO, you're hired. And now I need a hire foreman as well. Though I can't do you until construction, but that's good. We've got your office ready at least, which is nice, which is this one down here. Okay. So with that done, that will allow us to expand into a lot more things. The next thing I do want to do though is we are going to continue our terminal expansion. We're going to expand this little bit here for the time being. Now what I want to do in the next episode is we are going to go ahead and start to build up and down stairs. I want to build a restaurant, and I want to build a large gate. For that though, we do need upstairs. That's one huge thing. So I am going to have to go ahead and work on that. That's going to take a little bit of time, but once we get it in, I think we should be able to make it function. On top of that as well, we're going to go ahead and do some changes to the runway. I'm going to lengthen the runway so I can support larger planes. So it's all part of a long-term strategy which I'm sort of going for, which is going to take probably about 2 episodes I think to implement all in all. Okay, so that is now construction complete, which is good, so we can hire a foreman, and then the operation stuff, I've unlocked a lot of that new stuff too. The priority here is actually, oddly, escalators. So let me go ahead and do that. I actually don't have the money for that right now, which is a shame, but I think I can go ahead and do it anyway. The amount of money we'll gain, I'll probably be able to be profit-free again by tonight, or very close. After that, I think the next aim is... I don't know. Right, as I was saying earlier on in the episode, what do we need for this? Oh no, we've got this unlocked now, right? Okay, that's good, that's good. Let me close that down and this one down. So at least we have this now, which is good. So transport capacity, as we can see, estimated transit capacity is the green line, but we're really not hitting it at all with the combination. It's the white line you really need to care about, the combination of the two. We're really not doing well here at all, so we need to go ahead and really up that capacity. So what's the best way to do that? We could go ahead, and some of this is still locked, unfortunately. How do I unlock it? Doesn't necessarily say, does it? buses, we have to do the research, don't we? So say for example, I think it would make sense for me to probably go for upgraded buses. That is something which I would like to go ahead and do. So... Did we not start that? Oh no, we didn't, did we? No, we're doing construction. Right, regardless, it's 30,000, I think that'd be worth it. So that allows me to schedule an extra double-decker bus every 30 minutes, so that would curve the needs for now anyway, and then long-term, because it's a lot more expensive, or 20,000 more expensive, the light rail transit I think will leave for the time being, which is fine. Okay, right, I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward until tomorrow and see where we're at. So fast forward a day now, and as we can see, things have changed a little bit, so finally back into the positive. I've done this massive expansion, allowed for more seats, and as you can see now, the symmetricalness is starting to come round. So all I want to do at this bottom bit now is basically add areas for queues, and then have other gates. However, that's really not going to be, that's going to be quite a while away. Plus, in fact, if you actually build a gate, you can't just free place it, so it's got to go in a certain... It should be able to fit in there. That's the snap point there, so we should be okay. If not, we might have to even expand it even more, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So the good thing is in that time though, we have gone ahead and completed escalators, which is good. So from this I want to do the upgraded buses, so we do have the money for that. What I want to do is I want to clear space for the escalators. So what we're going to do is, what is going to happen, I think long term we probably will have an area before security which has escalators, but for now we're actually going to move all offices behind security instead of before security. I believe it doesn't matter what way it is, so it requires to be fully enclosed. It doesn't say anything about before or after security. A little bit of inconvenience to all the office workers, but I suppose if they want to go into the other part of the airport then they need to go through security themselves anyway. So let me go ahead and allow for escalators to be built, but where are they going to be built? That's the question. Because they cost so much, I need to go ahead and basically only have a few of them, and I'm going to have them after security, and realistically we're going to have them here. This is where I want to have them, so as soon as you come through security you can go upstairs, which would be not a bad thing at all. So I'm going to have to clear some stuff here anyway, that's what I'm going to have to do. Going to dismantle some benches and then move some of these boards around, and then we'll basically go from there. And as of the next episode, we'll go ahead and get these in and into action. The one thing I do need to do though is build foundations up above, so I'm actually building into something. So let me go ahead and just take up a little bit of room here. So I want to go from there to there. I've actually got my fingers on my screen right now drawing this out, and that should be to there and there. So if I go back down a floor, I could actually go a bit further. I'll need to go a bit further, but that's a start anyway. So this is going to be first floor. If you're American or don't use the UK floating system, then basically the bottom floor is ground floor, and then it's first floor. Though I don't know why it's got a 2. It's gone for a combination of the British and American system here, so this should be the first floor, and then, which is for Americans, the second floor, because you don't use the terminology ground floor, so just a difference in culture. None are right and wrong, but I'm used to the British way being British. Right, okay, so all that's boxed up. What I'm going to do, because this is going to take a while, is I'm going to go ahead and lead this into the next episode. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like rating. It really helps the channel and the video out. Go ahead and drop me a comment. In this episode, what did we do? We did a little bit of expansion. We did some comfort stuff, added in some more bushes if you didn't notice, added in some more foods, worked in some offices, some research. We went ahead and added in a few more planes, so just little nibbly bits here and there, you know, which went ahead and helped us out. And in the long term, as of next episode, as I said, we're going to work towards that large gate, which I'm quite excited for, and probably a restaurant too. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.